Hello everyone, Greyforce here.
Hi, welcome to our first video.
Yeah, and today we are going to talk about our Quinlan deck that we bring to the Milan Sector Qualifier. And Umar did a pretty good result on it because he went top 14 global with the deck and finished top 1 Quinlan. So he won the showcase. Congratulations to him.
Thanks.
And so we are going to deep dive into this deck and we are going to explain you our choices and how to play the deck. And at the end of the video, we are going to show you our newest version that you could bring to Liverpool.
So the meta in Milan was a very dark tone meta. It was 50% of dark tone, and the most represented deck was Django with 25% the first day, 50% the second day, and 80% in the top cut. And we think Quinlan is a great answer to all the dark tone, and it's a great answer in this meta. He managed pretty well between all of that. So we built a Quinlan deck. And before starting, I want to thanks and to congrats all the Quinlan. The the race for the showcase was very close because I'm in 10 victories for 3 defeats, and we were many Quinlan in this case. So congratulations to all the Quinlan.
So this is our version that we bring to Milan. So as you can see, there is a lot of drop ones. We play so this is the particularity of our deck. We also play Jam Communication instead of Spark of Rebellion. And there is a little difference between my version on Umar version, which is the L3 that I play instead of the Land Speeder. I made this choice because I think that L3 is better when you are playing mid on late game because you can smuggle it. But it was definitely a bad call because meta was just flood of Jungos. So Land Speeder is definitely better, and we are going to talk about it. Also, as you can see, there is a lot of choice on turn 2. We are playing some kind of casino turn 2 with Cassian, Ezra, Millennium Falcon, Red 5, and Sabine Masterpiece. All are in 2 copies. We are going to explain this choice after. Just for a short explanation, we think that all these units are very strong. So on turn 2, we never draw a bad card. They are always useful. And yeah, this is our deck list.
So this is all our one cost units. One cost units fit perfectly in the Quinlan decks because with Quinlan you can swarm ground and space, and that will helps you to control all the boards. If your opponent doesn't play one cost units and you can target one in turn one, it's not bad. You can target in turn two either or in turn three with depending the matchup. But this one will help you, and it's very good with the Plo Koon 2 because it's easier to trigger the coordinate ability of Plo Koon and deal 6 or 7 damage with at a unit.
Yeah, and also as you can see, we are playing only units with at least 3 HP. We consider to play Greedo, but he has only 1 HP, and in a meta with so many pings like Django or the Cat Bane, you definitely don't want to play 1 HP units. So that's why we are playing this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, we are also playing 2 cost unit, of course, Sabine and Grogu. They are just very good cards into Quinlan. We keep them because we think they are just very strong into the deck. Grogu, his force, he allow you to trigger the force throw. is just not that relevant into the Django matchup because he can exhaust it. But in all other matchup, he's very, very good. So we keep it. And also the Land Speeder. Land Speeder, as I said, is a very, very good call in this meta. Because it's a Tarkington meta, so everyone is playing the 2-2 shields unit to protect them from the Tarkington effect. So you can play the speeder, ping the unit and remove the shield, and then kill it with the ambush effect. So you have early advantage on the board, a unit on the board, and yeah, you can basically take early, very, very good early advantage with this card. It also kill, of course, all the 2-3 units like Sabine, for example. So yeah, very, very good card in the deck, very strong, so and very good in the actual meta.
In this deck, we have very low curves. It might be bad, but with these cards, with R2D2 and Ezra Pitcher, we can easily drill our decks and find the key cards like Plo Koon or other cards in the different matchups. So these cards help to deal with all the cards you don't want to have.
Yeah, and also just as a quick reminder, like for example in the Django matchup, you definitely want Plo Koon in your early hand, in your first hand, and you don't always want to count on the R2 or Ezra to find it. So yeah, just a quick reminder, in the Django matchup, try to have Plo Koon in your first hand. So yeah, now we are going to talk about how to win, because the deck, with this deck, you have the control of the board. You can kill units, but then when are you winning? So in most of the cases, you are winning after the leader deploy. Plo Koon helps you to securize the leader deploy. Like for example, he can kill Jango he can one-shot Jango. And then after your deploy, on the next turn, you just want to push a lot of damage. Like you have the Surprise Strike and the Hotshot Blaster to help with that. Like for example, if you use a Surprise Strike with Plo Koon, you you deal 9 damage on the base. So it's like 33% of the HP base of the opponent. So yeah, after the deploy, just race, and this is the global plan with all the matchups.
Here we have some new set 4 additions. In this deck we play Jam Communication instead of Spark of Rebellion. We discover Jam is better in this deck because in 80% of the time with Spark we want to discard an event because this deck can deal with all the units, but events are pretty annoying, like TDR, or if you play against Green Villainy, they are overwhelming barrage, and we really want to avoid these events. Asuka Tano is obviously great card. It's a first card with a one play effect, so she has an impact in the game when she comes. It's very good. Overdrive is really good in this deck because you can easily finish all the damage units with him, Tarkington, and the Quinlan ability, and you can start to race in the same time. So it's very good, and it's a 3/4 for health. It's pretty nice. It doesn't die with against the Kylo Silencer or all the 2 drops units. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, Django has a vast majority of 3 damage unit, so it survived to it.
Yeah. Then the Sabine Masterpiece. It's a controversial card, but we do think in this deck is pretty good because obviously the best on attack ability is when you have a yellow unit in the board, you can exhaust already a resource. If you play first, you can exhaust an enemy resources, so it's pretty good. And if you play after, you can ready one of your resources, and you have a lot of one cost in this deck, so you can play another things.
Yeah. And just an addition, I saw some of debates on some of these cards. So for the jump communication, as Umar said, we want to discard event, but it's also good because we played one drops. So on turn one, you can play a one drop and the jump communication. So it's a really good combo. You can, like for example, discard the TGR on turn one for Django. So it's pretty good. For Ahsoka, we saw some people still they still continue playing K2. We think it's a big mistake because Ahsoka has the when played effect, so the discard effect is immediate. And in a meta where no glory, only result exists, you definitely don't want to play K2. And just to finish, for the Sabine Masterpiece, some people say that it's bad if you don't play an ambush with it, and but we think that Sabine Masterpiece is especially good into Quinlan because you you always have the control of the board. So you can play Sabine Masterpiece safely on turn two, and opponent rarely can deal with it. So the on attack will be triggered like I would say 90% of the time.
Yeah, and if your opponent want to Tarkington the Sabine Masterpiece, it's good because later in the game you can play the Plo Koon, and if he doesn't have the response, he can attack the base after for a lot of damage with a lot of damage.
Yeah, the discard put a lot of pressure. Don't underestimate it. So now we have the sideboard. We have some basic sideboard with Han Solo. We decided to cut it from the main because the meta is more axed in the space. So Han Solo is less efficient into this meta. We decided to cut it from the main and put it in sideboard. Grey Dragon, we have only one copy of it. It's help only in hard control or control matchup. Very good card into it. And then we have set 4 cards. Sidon. Sidon is really good into Quinlan because you can play it, ping with Quinlan effect, and then attach it as a pilot on the space unit. Also, you can block the deploy of pilot leaders. We are going to talk about it in the matchup section. Cham Syndulla, very good into round decks, very good into Han Solo. Han Solo was a pretty okay matchup in the last set. Now it's an easy matchup with the Cham Syndulla. And for the Commander, nothing to say about it. It's a very good card. You can steal the space unit of your opponent. In the Django meta, it's really good.
So let's talk about the matchups. Here, at our opinion, the best leader in this set. So we will explain for every leader the gameplay.
Yeah, I can start with Sabine. Sabine is it's not the easiest matchup, but you can deal with it. It's okay. So global plan against Sabine is that you want to kill her first unit. She will rarely play one drops, so try to have a 2-cost unit. So it's okay to pass against Sabine if you have initiative. Just wait for her to play the unit first. If you pass the first turn, it's okay. She's aggro. She have to make the first move. So she play your unit, you play yours, ping Tarkin Town, and then you just have to race. One of the key cards in the matchup is Kira. You really want Kira to block the Plo Koon. So you play Kira on turn 3, you block the Plo Koon and then continue to race, and it will be okay.
For the Han Solo matchup, it's a bit tricky because Han Solo can play with different ways. If the Han Solo play out of curves, he will be very sensible to all the discard things like Ahsoka, like Jam, like Force Throw, and it will be also, sensible to the Kira, because if he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand, if you play Kira, you can skip one of this turn. Then if he play in curves and try to race, I think the game plan is you have to clean the unit, take the board, and then make sure if he can't deploy, and then you have to race. And I don't think he can come back from that. The last gameplay from Han Solo is if he plays a tempo and he start to pass, and he can be very tough, because I think he has a better late game than Quinlan, with all the cunning cards and the super strikes. So we don't want that, and in the Han Solo matchup, I think you will never pass. You start to float the board, to sum the board, and the key is really to kill Han Solo when he tries to deploy. You don't want him to play a 7-drop unit, and
Yeah,
that's it.
you have a lot of tools to disrupt the deploy.
Yeah.
You have the surprise strike with a 3 damage unit. You have the Plo Koon, of course, or you can also have the Force Row, and you can discard your own big Millennium Falcon, so it can deal 6 damage too.
Yeah. Last things about Han Solo,
Yeah.
it's if you manage to play Cham Syndulla and deploy before him, it's very hard for him to come back to that.
Yeah,
So,
and as a global reminder, just keep in mind that Han Solo hates the swarm, so try to have a lot of units on the board, and the more units you have, the less the cunning will be efficient.
yeah.
So now we have Boba Fett matchup. Boba can sometimes be a big aggro leader, but you can easily deal with it. Um, I will say that you want to control the board, try to ping Tarkin Town, maybe on turn 2 because his free cost unit is bigger. Try to cancel him to deploy. Like you don't want him to have a lot of space units, so try to cancel the deploy. You can ping your own unit to slow down the race. But just keep in mind that you don't want your unit to have 1 HP. Uh, Try to keep them at 2 HP, so if you play a War Juggernaut, he don't clean your board, or if he deploy, he won't clean your board. In our sideboard, we have some cards to help with it, with him, sorry. We have the Sidon, which is very good because he can block the leader deploy if you play Sidon on his space unit. And we have, of course, the Commander.
Yeah, Commander in with Boba is pretty strong, because he's deployed on 6. So when he has 5 resources, he often play a big 5 ship units to deploy on it. And if you try to Commander, so steal the units, attack with him, and get back the units in the hand, it's a very good play.
Yeah.
For the next one, it's Admiral Pit. Admiral Pit, it's a tricky one too. I think you had to brace very fast, and Cham can help you in this matchup. If he roams, and Admiral Pit often roams. If you manage to kill him with Plo Koon before he can put big units in the board, it's pretty good. And the game plan is you race in the ground, and when he start to play big units, you can block the key cards with Jam or with Kira to block the Turbo Laser Salvo or to block Overwhelming Barrage, for example.
Yeah, and don't forget that, for example, if you play blue, of course the Swarm plan is good because it blocks the power of the dark side. And as a global render, the Swarm plan is very strong in all the matchups, except maybe for Sabine because you want the 2 cost. But yeah, you will see that the Swarm plan is very strong in this meta.
Yeah. And finally, Jango. Jango is the deck to beat, and the Swarm plan, as you say, is very good also against Jango. Jango often plays one cost units like with 3 power and 1 health, and with the Quinlan ability you can kill them for free playing one cost unit, so it might be pretty good. In Jango you don't want to pass in either because he has a better late game than us, than Quinlan, with all the TDR, with the Devastator and other things. You want to put units in the board to try to control the boards. You want to use Plo Koon with the coordinate and to kill the Jango. It's the game plan, and after that I think you can start to race and go base, and as we said before.
So this is the Liverpool version that we built. We can't go to Liverpool, but this is the version that we could probably bring to Liverpool. So for sure we will bring it to Liverpool if we go there. So this is we made small changes, but big one into Django. We added the electromagnetic pulse in main, which I think it's our biggest mistake from Milan. The card is very strong into Django. It can easily cancel TDR. We are going to talk about it just after. We added Leia. We keep the Land Speeder into main because it's good into the Dark Intent meta, and we kept the Millennium Falcon from main and added a Commandeer because in this meta there is a lot of Django, and I think you want the Commandeer into main. So yeah, this is our anti-TDR plan into our Quinlan version. There is 2 new challengers. So the electromagnetic pulse, which is so strong to cancel the TDR. He play his unit, and for 1 you can just deal 2 damage and exhaust it. So after the turn, at the end of the turn, it will return it to his hand and be useless. And of course we have also Leia. Leia has the same effect than electromagnetic pulse, but at a body on the board. And we added it because we also think it adds a lot of consistencies to our deck. Because at Milan we saw that sometimes you want 1 drops, sometimes you want 2 drops, and when you try to mulligan and search for this plant, you not always getting what you want. So Leia had a lot of consistencies because if you have her with a 1-drop unit, it's the perfect opening, because if your opponent play a 2-cost, you play Leia, ping, and you play your 1-drop. And if your opponent play a 1-drop, you play Leila, you ready your unit, your resource, play your 1-drop, and ping the opponent 1-drop. So it adds a lot of consistencies to the deck. Very good card to cancel TDR. So yeah, I think we think she have a place into our deck.
Sure. And we're still playing the odd one. Jam Communication is pretty good to get rid of the TDR. Kira is an amazing card because it's why we play Kira in 3 copy instead of 2. Because Kira can block a TDR even if your opponent doesn't have a TDR in the hand. So you can block a top deck too. It's very great.
Yeah, we play it in 3 copy in 2 of Ahsoka, just because opponent can choose what is discard, but with Kira you choose what you're blocking.
Yeah. We play Commander 2. Commander is very good, but I think it will be less good in this meta because all the Jango start to build deck against, and obviously they play Devastator, but they can play Radiant 7 too, and they have lot of units, lot of vehicle units that cost more than 6 resources, so it will be less efficient, I think, in this meta. And Wele is pretty good, you can get rid of all the big units that the commander can do.
And yeah, now we are going to talk about some honorable mention cards that can be in the deck but we didn't find some place for them. Changelord, of course. It's maybe in the future it will be better than Commander because Jungos start to understand that if you play yellow, you play the Commander, so they start to yeah, have this in mind and try to uh, not play the 6 cost unit on the TDR. So maybe in the future it will be a better card than Commander. Bamboozle, really really good card. But the fact that you can discard from your hand to play the card was not really good in our version because we play a lot of 1 drops, we play a swarm version, so sometimes you can run out of card. So yeah, you don't really want to discard 1 more card from your hand. And the Daring Red. Daring Red is a really good card. It deals 2 damage. It's strong, but maybe Electromagnetic Pulse is just better at the moment.
Yeah, and for Bamboozle, if you want to play without without discard yellow cards, we think it's better to play Leia Organa.
Yeah, so that's all. This is our Liverpool version. Just keep in mind that this is a version that has been built to beat Django. Doesn't mean that it's bad against other matchup. It's really good against other matchup, don't worry. But just to say that if you think in your meta there will be not as much Django as in Milan, maybe you can make some switch from the main and to the side. Maybe you can remove some TDR plant. So yeah, just keep in mind that this version is especially built against meta Django meta.
Yeah, that's it. Uh, Let us know in the comment what you think of this video. Let us know what in the comment what you think about this deck. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any question, we will be happy to answer you. Thank you for watching. Bye.